The arena is dark and full of theories.
Day 23, the 74th Hunger Games. 3 tributes remaining. Katniss Everdeen, District 12, age 16, volunteer, score 11, 6 confirmed kills. Peeta Mellark, District 12, age 16, baker's son, score 8, 2 confirmed kills. Cato, District 2, age 18, career tribute trained at Masonry District Academy since age 8, score 10, 11 confirmed kills. The Cornucopia, metal horn rising from the arena floor, wolf mutations circling below, genetically engineered creatures with dead tribute's eyes embedded in their skulls, Glimmer's eyes, Thresh's eyes. Canon timeline, Cato grabs Peeta as hostage. Katniss shoots Cato's hand. He falls to mutations. Katniss and Peeta threaten double suicide with Nightlock berries. Game makers declare dual victors. Alternate timeline divergence point. Cato does not grab Peeta as shield. Tactical reassessment. Peeta wounded, leg infected from Tracker Jacker stings days ago. Barely standing, Katniss 20 feet away. Bow drawn, 1 arrow left. Cato calculates. Career Academy combat training, 12 years of drills, close quarters combat, speed, aggression, exploit weakness. Peeta is the weakness. Cato moves toward Peeta, not away from Katniss. Toward Katniss shouts, "Don't!" 15-foot drop. Peeta lands in the wolf pack. The mutations swarm, claws, teeth. Engineered to kill slowly, Peeta screams, not short, long, continuous, 5 seconds, 10, 20. Katniss freezes. 2 seconds, watches Peeta die. The boy who loved her since age 5. The boy who gave her burnt bread when she was starving. The boy who painted her as the girl on fire. 2 seconds. Enough. Cato sprints, 20 feet in 3 seconds. Career Academy speed drills. Pure aggression training. Katniss turns. Realizes. Tries to draw the bow. Too late. Cato tackles her. They hit metal. The bow skids across the cornucopia. Katniss reaches for her knife. Cato pins her arm, pulls his sword, 18-inch blade, capital forged steel, standard career weapon, drives it through her chest, between ribs, through the heart, precise, clean, 11 years of anatomical kill training. Katniss's eyes go wide, blood on her lips, the Mockingjay pin on her jacket, the one that became a symbol she never chose to carry, catches arena light. Cannon fires. Katniss Everdeen, dead. Age 16. Peeta's screaming has stopped. Second cannon. Peeta Mellark, dead. Age 16. Cato stands alone on the cornucopia. Blood on his hands, blood on his sword, blood everywhere. The wolf mutations circle, waiting. Programmed to kill the final tribute. They climb. Claws scraping metal. Eyes of dead children staring from wolf skulls. Cato fights. 3 hours, brutal close-quarters combat, sword against claws and teeth, and genetically engineered muscle, deep lacerations across his arms, bite wound on left shoulder, his left ear partially torn, ribs cracked, feels them grind with each breath. Blood loss severe, the mutations don't stop, designed not to stop. Game maker programming, hour 3. Cato failing, vision blurring, blood pooling beneath him. The mutations retreat, sudden, coordinated, down the cornucopia, into shadows. Gone. Game maker recall. They need a victor. Capital propaganda requires a victor. Can't have no winner. Looks weak. Cato collapses. Alone. Surrounded by blood. His blood. Katniss's blood drying on his sword. Claudius Temple Smith's voice echoes across the arena. Capital announcer, cheerful, oblivious. Ladies and gentlemen, the victor of the 74th Hunger Games. Cato of District 2. Hovercraft descends. Medical team extracts him. Emergency surgery begins mid-flight. Suturing lacerations. Blood transfusion. Cato wakes in the Capitol Remake Center. White walls. White lights. Doesn't know if he's alive or dead. Doesn't know if this is victory or hell. Turns out it's both. Day 1 post-games. Capitol Presidential Viewing Room. President Snow watches the final footage. 76 years old. White hair. White roses. Blood and roses breath from mouth sores. Legacy of poisoning during his rise to power decades ago. Seneca Crane stands beside him. Head game maker. 40s. geometrically sculpted beard, anxious. Snow, a career victor, traditional, clean. The system vindicated. Seneca, yes, Mr. President, Cato performed exactly as expected. Career training proved superior. No Barry Gambit. No lover's defiance. No forced rule change. Snow's voice is soft, pleased. District 12's tributes died as they should have. Weak, sentimental, eliminated by the strong. The narrative is perfect, sir. Strength rewarded. Obedience validated. Snow turns from the screen. Prepare the victor for processing. Standard protocol, I want him presentable for the victory tour. Of course, Mr. President. Snow pauses, studies Cato's final moments on screen. The kill, the brutality, the efficiency. This one is valuable. District 2 has produced few victors in recent years. Their academies need validation. Cato proves the career system works. Handle him carefully. Seneca nods, leaves. Snow remains. Watching Cato collapse on the Cornucopia. Watching a weapon fulfill its design. Satisfied, Day 7 post-games. District 2, Victor's Homecoming. District 2, Rocky Mountains region. Population 231,000. Primary industries, masonry, stonework, weapons manufacturing. The Nut, massive underground military fortress built into the mountain. Houses 60,000 workers, produces 80% of Panem's military arsenal. Firearms, explosives, hovercrafts, tactical equipment, nuclear stockpile and basement levels, 20 warheads, outdated delivery systems, enough to irradiate half of Panem, peacekeeper academies, 3 major facilities, trains 60% of Panem's enforcement apparatus. District 2 citizens view peacekeeper service as honorable. Career paths, social mobility, District 2's relationship with capital, collaborative, not oppressed, well-fed, prosperous. The capital's enforcer district, the strong arm. Cato returns to this, victory parade through Masonry District, thousands gathered, cheering, waving District 2 flags, banners, strength prevails, and District 2 pride. Peacekeeper commanders in dress uniforms, mayor in ceremonial robes, career academy directors, the wealthy, the powerful Cato's family front row. Father, Tiberius, age 48, stonemason, hands scarred from decades of cutting marble. Mother, Claudia, age 45, peacekeeper administrator, manages academy logistics. Sister, Valeria, age 12, small for her age, blonde, plays violin. They celebrate. Financial windfall incoming. Victor stipend, 1,000 Panem credits monthly, 50 times average District 2 household income. New home in Victor's village. First occupancy in 4 years. Last District 2 Victor was Enobaria, 6 years ago. Speeches. Mayor extols Cato's glory. Academy directors call him proof of their training methods. Peacekeeper commanders say he honors the district. Cato stands on the platform, dissociated, not present, moving through fog, sees faces, hears voices. Nothing registers. His mind is in the arena, still hearing Peeta scream, still feeling Katniss's blood, still seeing her eyes go wide as the sword pierced her heart. Valeria approaches after the ceremony, his little sister, 12 years old, eyes shining. You're the strongest person in Panem now. Everyone says so. Cato looks at her, opens his mouth, can't speak. The guilt is physical, a crushing weight on his chest. He killed 23 children to get here, to this moment, to this lie about strength and glory. Valeria doesn't understand his silence, hugs him. I'm so proud of you. Cato closes his eyes, says nothing. The homecoming banquet, District 2 elite, gather at the mayor's mansion. Crystal chandeliers, roasted meats, capital wine. Celebration, mid-banquet, a capital escort pulls Cato aside. Private conversation in marble hallway. The escort, Flavius, late 30s, bright orange hair, capital accent thick and nasal. Your victory tour begins in 2 weeks. We've prepared your itinerary. Hands Cato a leather folder. Official capital seal. Cato opens it, scans the schedule. 12 districts over 14 days, public ceremonies, speeches, standard procedure, then notices 47 private appointments listed, individual meetings, capital sponsors, wealthy citizens, all after hours. all at private residences. Why are there 47 private dinners scheduled? Flavius smiles. Practiced. The Capitol is very interested in getting to know you personally, Mr. Cato. You're quite marketable. First realization. Small, quiet, something wrong. Mark table, you're a career victor. Young, strong, intense. Capitol citizens find that very appealing. Flavius's smile doesn't reach his eyes. These meetings are opportunities for you to build relationships with sponsors. Important relationships. Lucrative relationships. Cato stares at the list. Names he doesn't recognize. Titles, wealth indicators. Both men and women. What kind of relationships? Flavius's smile widens. Mutually beneficial ones. Now you should rejoin the banquet. We'll discuss details closer to departure. Leaves. Cato stands in the hallway, folder in hand, reading names, appointments, times, locations. Second realization, larger. This doesn't sound like political meetings. Sounds like something else. Day 10 post-games. Capitol Training Center. Post-games consultation. Cato summoned to Capitol. Standard debriefing procedure. Required for all victors. Head game maker Seneca Crane presides. Conference room. Screens showing arena footage. Capitol propaganda officials present. 5 bureaucrats in bright colors, taking notes. They review Cato's performance. Kills. Tactics. The bloodbath. Cato killed Glimmer from District 1 with a sword thrust through her abdomen. The tracker-jacker nest assault on tributes sleeping below. The feast. Cato killed Thresh with a rock after Thresh killed Clove. The final confrontation with Katniss and Peeta. But the officials don't focus on tactics. Don't analyze combat decisions. Focus on appearance. Your physicality is very marketable. Capitol audiences responded extremely well to your intensity. The aggression displays tested particularly high with certain demographics. You'll be very popular in Capitol social circuits. Cato sits, listening. This doesn't sound like military analysis. Sounds like product evaluation. Livestock assessment. A man introduces himself. I'm Octavian Silk, your social coordinator. I'll be managing your Capitol relationships moving forward. Produces a document, hands it to Cato. These are Capitol elites who have expressed interest in getting to know you personally. Private meetings, during your victory tour and beyond. Cato reads the list. 30 names. Titles, wealth indicators, appointment times, locations marked private residence, both men and women. Ages ranging from 30s to 70s, all wealthy, all powerful. What kind of meetings? Octavian smiles. Same smile as Flavius. Practiced, empty. Social engagements. Building sponsor relationships. The Capitol values personal connections with victors. These relationships are essential to your continued success. Cato's career academy training prepared him for combat. Weapons proficiency, tactical analysis, close quarters killing, urban warfare, survival skills. Did not prepare him for this. Essential how? It's part of your obligations as a victor. Refusing these engagements would be inadvisable. Third realization, massive, clear. This is not optional. This is not about networking. What happens if I refuse? Octavian's smile doesn't waver. That's not a choice victors make, Mr. Cato. Your family's safety depends on your cooperation, as does your own. Cato's hands tighten on the document. You're threatening my family. I'm clarifying expectations. President Snow is very clear about what he expects from victors. Particularly valuable victors like yourself. Octavian stands. Your first engagement is in 6 days. Details will be provided. I suggest you prepare mentally. Leaves. Cato alone in the conference room, holding the list. 30 names, 47 total appointments across the victory tour schedule. Understanding crystallizes. They're selling him. He won the Hunger Games, killed 23 children, became District 2's hero, and now the Capitol owns him. Will rent him to wealthy citizens like property. Like premium merchandise, Day 14 post-games. Victor's Village, District 2. Late evening, Brutus arrives. District 2 Victor won the 45th Hunger Games 30 years ago. Age 52. Scarred face, heavy build. Gray hair. Cato's primary career academy trainer for 6 years. Brings alcohol. Illegal in districts. Minor offense, victors above minor laws. They sit in Cato's new home. Government-issued furniture. Bare walls. Cold. Empty. No personal touches yet. Brutus pours 2 glasses, slides one to Cato. Long silence. Then, I should have told you before you volunteered. Cato looks up. Told me what? That winning is worse than dying in the arena. Cato stares. What are you talking about? Brutus drinks. Long pull. Sets the glass down. The victory tour isn't about honoring districts. It's about selling you to capital sponsors, wealthy citizens, people who can afford victors. Afford? They'll call it social obligations, private meetings, sponsor relationships, maintaining capital goodwill. Brutus's voice is flat, dead. 30 years of this has killed something in him. Refuse, and they'll kill your family. Comply, and you become capital property for the rest of your life. Cato's breath catches. That's true, every word. Brutus pours another drink. There was a victor from District 6, Marcus, 12 years ago. Tried to say no to a capital sponsor. They executed his parents on live broadcast the next day. Then asked him again. He complied. Silence. Cato processes. The list. The appointments, the social coordinator. How many victors know? Every single one. Some accepted it, learned to dissociate, survive. Others, Brutus trails off. Others broke. Suicides, addiction, madness. The capital covers it up, calls it victor instability, blames the game's trauma. Why didn't anyone tell the tributes before? The career system would collapse. District 2's entire identity relies on the lie that winning brings glory. Brutus looks at Cato directly. You were raised on that lie. We all were. The truth is, you won the right to be exploited in a different way. That's all victory ever was. Cato stands, rage building. I'll fight back. I'll refuse. And they'll kill Valeria in front of you. Brutus doesn't raise his voice, states fact. Your little sister, 12 years old, plays violin. They'll execute her on live broadcast, make you watch, then ask if you'd like to reconsider. Cato's rage hits a wall. Valeria, blonde hair, bright eyes, proud of her big brother. You have 2 choices, Brutus says quietly. Die slowly, or live long enough to kill them first. Kill them first. Cato sits back down. How? I don't know yet, but I've been waiting 30 years for someone angry enough and smart enough to try. Brutus leans forward. Other victors are waiting too. Lyme, Enobaria, others across Panem were all trapped, all exploited, all waiting for someone to start the war. Start what war? Against the system that made us into weapons and then acts surprised when we want to point the wrong way? Cato stares. This is treason. Open treason, punishable by execution. But Brutus is serious. 30 years of exploitation in his eyes. Who else is waiting? Brutus doesn't answer directly. If you survive the victory tour, we'll talk. For now, you need to comply. Play the loyal career. Give them what they want. Learn the system. Understand how it works. Then we figure out how to break it. Stands. Leaves the alcohol bottle. You'll need that. Walks out. Cato sits alone, glass in hand. Understanding settling like concrete. He murdered 23 children. Threw Peeta to mutations. Stabbed Katniss through the heart. 11 direct kills. 12 more deaths he was complicit in as part of the career pack. For this, to become the capital's property, their toy, their premium slave. He drinks, the alcohol burns, doesn't help, thinks about Valeria, about his parents, about the threats. Thinks about Katniss, about her eyes when the sword went through, about Peeta screaming. Thinks about the 47 appointments on his victory tour schedule. Fourth realization, the one that breaks him completely. There was never any glory, never any honor, never any reward. Just different kinds of cages. He destroys the room, flips the table, throws the chair through a window, breaks the government-issued lamp, rips curtains down. Rage, pure, burning. When it exhausts itself, he collapses, sits on the floor among broken furniture, vomits, bile, alcohol, horror. The reality sinking in like poison. He won the games and lost everything. Day 28 post-games. Victory tour begins. District 12. The train departs District 2. Cato, his prep team, 3 capital citizens who will manage his appearance, Flavius the escort, Octavian Silk the social coordinator, 14-day tour, 12 districts, 47 private appointments interspersed. First stop, District 12. Coal mining region, population 8,000. Poorest district, starvation common, gray, depressed. Dying, the train arrives. Town square ceremony, mandatory attendance for all district residents. Cato stands on the stage, reads capital scripted speech from a teleprompter. Katniss Everdeen and Peeta Mellark fought with exceptional bravery and honor. I am humbled to have shared the arena with such worthy opponents. Their sacrifice will be remembered, their courage honored. District 12 should be proud of the tributes they produced. The words are ash in his mouth. Lies. Empty propaganda. He looks at the crowd, sees Katniss's family, front row, required attendance. Mrs. Everdeen, age 41, blonde, healer. Apothecary owner's daughter who married a seam coal miner 20 years ago, empty eyes, staring at nothing. Primrose Everdeen, age 12, blonde, small. The sister Katniss volunteered for. The reason Katniss was in the arena, crying silently, tears streaming down her face. Gale Hawthorne, age 18, dark hair, seam features. Katniss's hunting partner, best friend, maybe more. Hatred radiating from him, fists clenched, jaw tight, staring at Cato like he's memorizing his face for future violence. Peeta's family, father, the baker, kind man who gave Katniss burnt bread once, destroyed now. 2 older brothers, uncomfortable in formal clothes. Mother absent, couldn't attend, reportedly ill. Translation, couldn't bear to see her son's killer honored. Cato continues the speech, each word a knife. He killed their daughter, their son, their sister, their friend, for capital entertainment. The ceremony ends. Cato returns to the train, dissociation deepening, moving through nightmare fog. That evening, first private appointment. Capital sponsor residing temporarily in District 12 for the tour. Wealthy textile magnate. Male, age 53. Name, Augustin Paylor. Private residence, temporary quarters in the mayor's mansion, dinner served, roasted duck, capital delicacies, wine. They eat in silence. After the meal, Augustin makes his expectations clear, not with words, with actions, with assumptions, with the confidence of someone who has done this before. Cato understands. He can comply, or his family dies. Octavian's words echo. Your family's safety depends on your cooperation. The career academies taught Cato to kill, to dominate, to be the strongest, the fastest, the most ruthless. Never taught him this, he dissociates, imagines he's somewhere else. Imagines he's killing Augustine instead, snapping his neck, crushing his windpipe, stabbing him like he stabbed Katniss, making him scream like Peeta screamed. But he doesn't. He complies. Afterward, returns to his train compartment. Sits in the shower, water running, 3 hours. Can't get clean, will never be clean. Understands now, completely. This is what victory means. This is what he won. Day 30 post-games. District 11. Agriculture District. Larger ceremony. District 11 population, 150,000. Primarily black and brown citizens. Vast orchards. Grain fields produces Panem's food while its own people starve. Peacekeepers enforce quotas brutally. Public whippings common. Cato stands before the crowd. Town square packed, mandatory attendance. Peacekeepers line the perimeter, rifles ready. Faces Thresh's family. Thresh District 11 male tribute, age 18. Massive, strong. Killed Clove during the feast when she tried to kill Katniss. Cato killed Thresh afterward. Smashed his skull with a rock. Brutal. Efficient. Thresh's mother stands front row, grandmother beside her. 3 younger siblings, staring at Cato with empty eyes. Grief beyond tears, and Rue's family. Rue, 12-year-old girl, smallest tribute, fastest, kindest. Marvel from District 1 speared her, but Cato was part of the career pack that hunted her, complicit. Rue's grandfather stands in the crowd, old, weathered, eyes that have witnessed 70 years of capital oppression. Cato reads the script. Capital propaganda officer feeds him lines through an earpiece. Thresh and Rue represented the finest qualities of District 11. Their strength and spirit honor your district. Their sacrifice in the arena demonstrated courage that Mockingjay call, Rue's signal in the arena when she was alive. The crowd goes silent, complete, suffocating, Peacekeepers tense, hands on rifles. The old man whistles again, same 4 notes. Defiant. Clear. 3 peacekeepers raise weapons. Fire. The old man falls, blood spreading across dirt, body dragged away immediately. The crowd doesn't move. Frozen in terror, children crying, adults rigid, Cato is forced to continue the speech over the corpse being hauled to a truck, over blood soaking into District 11 soil. Reads capital words, hollow, meaningless. Demonstrated courage that will inspire future generations. 5th realization, larger than all previous. He is not a victor. He is a weapon the Capitol points at grieving families, a tool to terrorize the districts, living proof that resistance ends in death. They parade him through districts, force him to stand over the families of children he killed or helped kill, make him read propaganda about honor and sacrifice. This is his purpose now, not glory, not reward, intimidation, control, fear. The ceremony ends. Cato returns to the train, vomits in his compartment bathroom. Can't stop shaking. That night, 2nd private appointment. Capitol sponsor. Female, age 47. Name, Celestia Ravenstill. Granddaughter of Panem's first president. Same transaction, same expectations. Same compliance, or your family dies. Cato dissociates deeper, imagines the arena, imagines killing, imagines anything except what's actually happening. Survives it, barely. Returns to train, sits in darkness, doesn't sleep, can't sleep. Thinks about the old man whistling Rue's song. Thinks about peacekeepers shooting him. Thinks about Thresh's mother's empty eyes. Thinks about 45 more appointments scheduled over the next 12 days. Counts them, 45, plus the 2 already completed, 47 total. 47 times he'll be sold, rented, used. For the rest of his life, this is forever. Not punishment, not temporary. Forever, day 3-2-4-0 post-games, districts 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. The pattern repeats. Each district, public ceremony, scripted speech, face the families of dead tributes, watch them grieve. District 8, textile manufacturing, the girl from 8 Cato killed on day 4 of the games, stabbed her through the throat. Her family stands silent, mother's face carved from stone. District 7, lumber. Cato didn't kill either tribute from 7, but they died in the bloodbath while he stood by. Complicit. District 5, power generation. Same. Each night. Private appointments, Capitol sponsors, different faces, same transaction, same dissociation, same horror. By District 6, Cato has stopped counting, stopped tracking, moves through fog. Autopilot, his prep team notices, tries to adjust his appearance to hide the psychological collapse. More makeup, brighter clothes, wider smiles in official photos. Doesn't work. His eyes are dead. Anyone looking closely can see it, but the Capitol doesn't look closely. Sees what it wants to see. The perfect career. The loyal victor. The system's success story. Day 42 post-games. District 4, fishing district. Career district. Like District 1 and 2. Wealthier, better fed. Volunteers for the games. The male tribute from 4. Cato killed him in the bloodbath. Sword through the chest, clean, fast. The female tribute from 4 drowned in the initial scramble. Cato wasn't directly responsible, but District 4 treats the ceremony differently. Pride instead of grief. Their tributes died fighting, honorably. The career way makes it worse somehow. They don't understand, still believe the lie, still think the games bring glory. Cato sees himself in their faces, sees who he was 4 weeks ago, believing, proud, eager, stupid. After the ceremony, a District 4 victor approaches, Finnick O'Dare. Age 24, won the 65th games at age 14. 10 years ago, bronze skin, sea-green eyes, devastatingly attractive, Capitol's favorite. Most popular victor in Panem. Walk with me, Finnick says, not a request. They move through District 4's victor's village. 3 houses. Mags's elderly victor, won decades ago, and 1 empty house for Cato's murdered tributes. Finnick doesn't speak until they're away from cameras. Near the beach, waves crashing, white noise covering conversation. You're not hiding it well. Cato stops. Hiding what? That you want to kill everyone in the Capitol. Finnick's casual tone doesn't match his words. I've seen that look before, in the mirror, every morning for 10 years. Silence. Cato evaluates. Is this a trap? Capital informant testing his loyalty. Finnick continues. I was 14 when Snow first sold me. Youngest victor ever. Looked like this. Gestures to his face, his body. Capital couldn't get enough. 10 years. Hundreds of appointments. I've lost count. Why are you telling me this? Because you're where I was. Year 1. Realizing victory is slavery. Wanting to die. Wanting to kill. Not sure which. Finnick looks at the ocean. I tried suicide. 3 times. They saved me every time. Faster response each time. They monitor us. Always watching. Waiting for us to break so they can put us back together. All failed. After the 3rd, Snow visited me personally. Showed me footage of Annie, girl I loved from my district. Told me if I tried again, she'd disappear, slowly. Finnick's voice is hollow. So I stopped trying. Started surviving instead. How? Dissociation. Compartmentalization. I learned to split myself. There's Finnick the victor, the one they own, and there's me, the person they can't touch. The victor performs, smiles, complies. The real me watches from somewhere else, safe, untouchable. That's not freedom, that's just slower death. Yes, Finnick agrees, but it's survival. And survival means staying alive long enough to find an opportunity. Opportunity for what? Finnick looks at him, studies him, deciding something. There are people working to overthrow Snow. Real people. Real plans. I'm feeding them information. Capital secrets I learned during appointments. Wealthy people talk. Confess things, think victors can't do anything with the information. They're wrong. District 13, Cato says it flat. Statement. Finnick's eyes widen. Surprise. How did you... I'm not stupid. Underground bunker district. Survived the dark days. Only group with resources to challenge the capital. Cato crosses his arms. But I'm not interested in replacing Snow with President Coin. What are you interested in? Burning it all down. Finnick studies him. Long moment. Then, I can't help you with that. But I won't stop you either. Just know, when the rebellion comes, you'll have to choose a side. I already have. Mine. They part. No alliance, but understanding. Finnick feeds intelligence to District 13. Cato will prepare District 2 for war. 2 separate rebellions. Same enemy. Incompatible end goals. Both betting their separate wars will weaken the capital enough for the other to succeed. Day 44 post-games. District 3. Technology District Cato's 23rd private appointment. Has stopped dissociating effectively. The compartmentalization failing. Each appointment bleeds into the next. Can't maintain the separation between Victor Cato and real Cato anymore. Starts self-harming, cutting his arms with broken glass in private. Needs to feel something real. Something he controls. Pain is honest. Everything else is lies. His prep team notices the cuts, covers them with makeup and long sleeves, doesn't report them. Victor's self-harming is common, expected. Not worth mentioning unless it affects public appearances. Day 46 post-games. District 2, return home. Tour complete. 12 districts, 47 appointments, completed. Cato returns to Victor's village. His family visits. They see the weight loss, the dead eyes, the mechanical movements. Valeria, are you okay? Cato, I'm fine. Lies. Obvious lies. But what can he say? The truth would destroy her. His mother knows, sees it in his eyes. Claudia worked peacekeeper administration for 20 years, knows capital methods, knows what they do to victors. Private conversation, mother and son. She doesn't ask details. Just, can you survive this? I don't know. Like what? Revenge. She says it quiet, dangerous. Stay alive long enough to make them pay. She leaves. Cato alone thinks about her words. Revenge. Survival. Make them pay. Thinks about Brutus's words from day 14. Live long enough to kill them first. Decides. Not suicide. Not compliance. Planning. Preparation. War. Month 3 post-games. Capital. Extended social season. Cato required to remain in capital for 3 months. Building sponsor relationships. Translation. Available for appointments. 3 to 5 per week. Different capital elites. Men. Women. Ages ranging. All wealthy. all untouchable, all assume victors are property. Cato develops a routine. Morning physical training in the Capitol gym, maintains career conditioning, needs to stay strong. Afternoon, appointments is scheduled. Evening, alcohol, numbing, surviving. Begins observing, studying, learning the system. Which capital families have military contracts? Which have political power? Which have intelligence access? Which have weaknesses? Builds mental database. Someday this information will be useful. Month 3, Week 8. The suicide attempt. Cato overdoses on capital painkillers. Takes 30 pills. Enough to kill. Wants to die. Can't survive this anymore. Fails. Capital medical team arrives within 2 minutes. Victors monitored 24/7. Surveillance in their apartments. Always watching. Stomach pumped. Revived. Survives. No hospital stay. Returned to his apartment within 4 hours. Capital can't afford Victor scandals. Looks weak. Suggests the system breaks people. Octavian Silk visits that evening. That was inadvisable, Mr. Cato. Cato, I want to die. That's not your choice. You belong to the Capitol. President Snow will decide when your service ends. Octavian's voice is clinical. Further suicide attempts will result in consequences for your family. Starting with your sister. You'd kill a 12-year-old girl. President Snow has killed younger for less. Don't test his patience. Leaves. Cato sits, understands, can't die, can't escape, can't even choose death. Only choice left. Kill them first. Month 4, post-games. Presidential mansion. Cato summoned. Not public areas. President Snow's private study. Rose garden adjacent. The study smells like blood and roses. White roses in crystal vases everywhere. Masking something. Snow's mouth sores. Bleeding constantly. Legacy of poison. President Snow sits behind an ornate desk. 76 years old. White hair. Immaculate suit. Grandfatherly appearance. Monster underneath. Sit. Wasn't offered a choice, but sitting is better than standing at attention like a soldier. Snow, you tried to rob the Capitol of its property. I tried to kill myself. Same thing. You are Capitol property now. Your life is not yours to dispose of. Snow's voice is soft, almost kind, makes it worse. I'm disappointed. District 2 victors are usually more resilient. Silence. Snow pulls up a screen. Embedded in the desk. Live video feed. Cato's family, District 2, eating dinner at home. Father, mother, Valeria, real-time footage. Current, happening now. Valeria finishes dinner, picks up her violin, plays. Beautiful music. Mozart. She's been practicing for years. Talented, dedicated. Snow, your sister is quite gifted. It would be tragic if she lost her hands. The threat is explicit, clear, undeniable. Cato's fists clench under the desk. Every instinct says attack. Jump across the desk. Kill Snow. End this. But Valeria is on the screen, playing violin. Innocent. 12 years old. Snow continues. Finnick O'Dare understands the arrangement. He's been cooperative for 10 years. Exemplary victor. The Capitol values him greatly. Implies Finnick has thrived under the system. Cato knows better. Finnick tried suicide 3 times. But Snow doesn't mention that. I expect the same cooperation from you. 6 months to adjust. Become compliant. Accept your role. Snow's eyes are cold, reptilian. Further suicide attempts will result in your family's execution. Starting with Valeria, then your mother, then your father. You will watch each one, then will ask if you'd like to reconsider. Why not just kill me now? Because you are valuable. You represent the perfection of the career system. District 2's pride. Your victory proves the Capitol rewards strength and obedience. Your image sells loyalty to thousands of potential career volunteers. Snow leans forward. You are propaganda, living proof that the system works. I need you alive, cooperative, grateful. I'll never be grateful. You don't have to be. You just have to pretend, and you're well trained in killing. Pretending is easier. Snow dismisses the screen. Valeria disappears. Return to your obligations. 6 months. If you're still problematic, we'll have another conversation, likely over your sister's corpse. Cato stands, dismissed, leaves, walks through the presidential mansion. Rose garden, peacekeepers everywhere, exits to the street. Doesn't remember the walk back to his apartment. Autopilot. Fog. Sits in his apartment, darkness, thinking. Snow needs him alive. Needs him as propaganda, as proof the career system works. That's leverage. Small, but real. Snow threatened Valeria, that's a line, that's the control mechanism. But it's also a target. If Cato is going to fight back, he needs to protect Valeria first. Remove Snow's leverage. Can't do that alone. Needs allies. Needs people who understand the system. Who've survived it. Needs the Victor Network Brutus mentioned. Month 5 post-games. Capitol Botanical Garden. Victor Wellness Meeting. Capitol mandates monthly meetings for all Victors in the city. Cover story. Mental health support. Reality. Mutual surveillance. Ensuring no conspiracies form. 12 Victors present. Various ages. Various districts. All broken in different ways. Hamish Abernathy from District 12. Age 41. Drunk. Always drunk. Won the 50th Games 2004 years ago. Lost his family immediately after. Snow executed them for Hamish's force field trick. Been drinking ever since. Johanna Mason from District 7. Age 23. Won 3 years ago. Pretended to be weak in the arena. Revealed herself as lethal in the final days. Axe specialist, now bitter, angry, reckless. Others Cato doesn't know well. Broken, medicated, numb. After the official session, supervised by Capitol psychologists, Finnick approaches Cato. Walk. Thick foliage interferes with surveillance microphones, one of the few semi-private places in the Capitol. Finnick leads Cato deep into the garden, checks for observers, none visible. You look worse. Cato, Snow visited me. Threatened your family? My sister, 12 years old, said he'd cut off her hands. Finnick's face hardens. He threatened Annie the same way. Different method, same message. Comply or they suffer. How do you live with it? I don't. I survive it. Difference. Finnick leans against a tree. But I'm also working towards something. District 13. The rebellion. Knowing there's an endgame helps. Gives me something to stay alive for. I told you, I'm not interested in Coin's revolution. Then what are you interested in? District 2. The nut. The weapons. The peacekeepers. Cato looks at Finnick. If District 2 rebels, the Capitol loses its military infrastructure. No weapons. The system collapses. Finnick considers, that's a military coup, not a popular uprising. I don't care about popularity, I care about effectiveness. Cato's voice is cold. The Capitol made me a weapon, trained me since I was 8, taught me how to kill, how to strategize, how to win. I'm going to use that training against them. You'll need allies. District 2 peacekeepers are loyal to the Capitol paycheck. Some are. Others aren't. I've been watching, listening. Young peacekeepers question orders, especially after serving in District 11. District 8, witnessing executions, starving children. They joined for money, not ideology. That's exploitable. You're serious about this, Snow threatened my sister. I'm going to kill him, and everyone who enabled him, and I'm going to use the very system he built to do it. Cato pushes off the tree. You can join or stay out of my way. Your choice. Finnick doesn't answer immediately. Thinks, I can't join you. I'm committed to District 13, to Coin's plan, but I won't interfere. And I'll share intelligence if it helps both our goals. What intelligence? Capitol military deployment, peacekeeper rotations, supply chain vulnerabilities, secrets I learned during appointments. Wealthy people confess things. Assumed victors are powerless. I remember everything. And I'll give you what's useful. Why help me if you're not joining? Because Snow needs to die. I don't care who kills him, you, Coin. Random lightning strike. As long as he's dead, I'm satisfied. Finnick extends his hand. Separate rebellions. Same enemy. Deal? Cato shakes. Deal. They part. No formal alliance, but cooperation, intelligence sharing, mutual benefit. Cato returns to his apartment. Starts planning seriously. District 2 rebellion requires recruit peacekeepers and career academy graduates. Map. The nuts infrastructure. Identify Capitol vulnerabilities, wait for triggering event, execute coup, timeline. 18 months minimum, probably longer, needs to be methodical, careful. One mistake means family execution. Month 6 post-games. Return to District 2. The recruitment begins. Cato allowed to return home. Mentorship duties. Next year's Career Academy class needs inspiration from recent victor, uses this access strategically. Visits career academies, speaks to trainees, ages 8 to 18, all preparing for the games, all believing the lie about glory. Doesn't contradict the lie publicly, but plants seeds of doubt privately, pulls aside older trainees, ages 16 to 18, those close to volunteering, asks questions. What happens after you win? What's the victor's life actually like? Most haven't thought about it. Assumed glory, wealth, respect. Cato doesn't tell them the truth directly. Too dangerous. They'd report him. Instead, ask the victors who've been living it. Ask what their daily life is actually like. Then decide if that's what you want. Some ask, most don't, but the seed is planted. Visits Peacekeeper academies. Career Academy graduates often transition to Peacekeeper training. Cato's victor status grants him access. Speaks to graduates who weren't reaped for the games, ages 18 to 25, now training as enforcement. Watches their training, observes instructors, identifies who questions orders, who shows hesitation during brutality drills, targets those individuals, casual conversations, building relationships, not recruitment yet, just connection. Where are you from? Do you have family? What made you join Peacekeepers? Most answers, economic necessity, career path. District 2 pride, few answers, ideological loyalty to capital. That's the wedge. That's the crack in their conditioning. Meets Lime during this period. District 2 victor, age 43, won the 42nd Hunger Games 19 years ago. Former Peacekeeper captain before her games, stocky, scarred, tactical mind. She approaches Cato at a Peacekeeper Academy event. You're asking questions. Cato, just curious about the training. No, you're evaluating. Looking for something. Lime's voice is low. I recognize it because I did the same thing 15 years ago. Did what? Tried to figure out if rebellion was possible? Decided it wasn't? Not alone, not without allies, not without someone willing to start it. She looks at him. Are you willing to start it? Dangerous question. Could be a trap. Capital informant, but Lime's eyes are honest. Tired, 20 years of exploitation visible in her face. Cato decides, yes, then we need to talk. Not here, not now, but soon. She walks away. Brutus will arrange it. Week later, Lime's home in Victor's village. Evening, windows covered, bugs swept, secure as possible. 4 people present. Cato, Brutus, Lime, Enobaria, District 2 victor, age 26, won the 62nd Hunger Games 6 years ago, famous for ripping out opponent's throat with her teeth during the games. Capital surgically sharpened her canines afterward, made her into entertainment, the feral victor. She's been exploited like Finnick, like Cato. 6 years of appointments, same horror. They sit, no pleasantries, direct. Brutus, we've been waiting for someone to start this. Cato, you're young, angry, reckless, but you're also a victor. You have access, you have status, and you have nothing left to lose. Cato, I have my sister. So did I. Lime's voice is flat. They killed her anyway, 10 years ago. Called it an accident, factory explosion. But I know, I'd been asking too many questions about nut security. They sent a message. Silence. Enobaria. They own us, completely, but they're also dependent on us, on District 2, on the nut, on Peacekeepers. That dependency is a vulnerability. But first we need to build a network, recruit people who will actually fight. Not civilians, soldiers, Peacekeepers who understand what they're enforcing and hate it. Lime pulls out documents, maps, organizational charts. I've been mapping this for 15 years, waiting for the right moment, the right person to lead it. Why me? Because you're new. Because you're not broken yet. Because you still have rage instead of numbness. Brutus looks at Cato. We're too old, too damaged, too known as capital-compliant victors. You're different, recent, they haven't crushed you yet. Cato, what's the plan? Lime spreads the maps, the nuts interior, command structure, security protocols, armory locations, nuclear stockpile, power core, communications hub. Phase 1, recruit. Target Peacekeepers ages 20 to 30. Focus on those who served in Districts 8, 11, 12. Those who've seen the brutality firsthand. Use your victor status. They'll trust you. How many do we need? 200 peacekeepers minimum. Inside the nut. On duty during the coup. That gives us control of critical infrastructure without having to fight our way in. And Oberia, Phase 2, intelligence. Learn capitals, military deployment, response times, hovercraft locations. Nuclear protocols, we need to know how they'll retaliate. Finnick Odair is gathering that intelligence for District 13. I can access it. Brutus raises an eyebrow. You're coordinating with Finnick? Good. District 13 will try to control the rebellion if they're involved. Coin wants to be the next president. We don't need another dictator. Lime, Phase 3, triggering event. We can't move until the capital is distracted. Another games, another district uprising, something that pulls their attention away from District 2. The 75th Games. Quarter quell, 18 months from now. Cato states it flat. Snow will do something dramatic. Always does for quarter quells. That's our window. Agreed. 18 months to prepare. Recruit. Map. Plan. Then we execute. They agree. Blood oath. If captured, suicide rather than reveal the conspiracy. The District 2 Victor Cell is formed. 4 broken weapons, preparing to point themselves at their masters. Month 7, 1-2 post-games, the recruitment phase. Brutus takes point on Peacekeeper Academy infiltration. Head trainer position gives him direct access to graduating classes. Ages 18 to 22. Fresh recruits, ideologically malleable. Training sessions become Socratic questioning disguised as tactical education. Scenario: District 11 grain quota is short. Peacekeepers must enforce rationing. But the shortage is caused by capital over-extraction, not district laziness. Do you punish starving workers? Orders are orders. Brutus pushes. Why? What strategic purpose does punishing the starving serve? Makes them think. Question. Doubt. Doesn't mention rebellion. Plants cognitive dissonance. If the capital is just, why do we need 100,000 peacekeepers to enforce obedience? Not all recruits respond. Most stay loyal. But some, 10%, maybe 15%, start questioning by month 12. 60 trainees show signs of ideological fracture. Not committed rebels, but sympathetic, persuadable, waiting for leadership. Lime targets mid-level peacekeeper commanders, ages 30 to 45, 15 to 20 years service, seen too much, know too much, starting to question. Her pitch is pragmatic, not moral. The capital pays us with printed credits while districts starve. When the system collapses, and it will collapse, where does that leave our families? We're enforcers of an unsustainable system. When it breaks, we'll be blamed. Scapegoated, executed alongside the regime we served. Appeals to self-interest and survival instinct. We have weapons, training, infrastructure. Why are we taking orders from capital bureaucrats who've never held a rifle? Not moral crusade. Results by month 12, 15 peacekeeper captains agree to keep options open, non-committal, but aware, connected, ready to move when the moment comes. Key recruit, Commander Marcus Flint, age 37, 15-year peacekeeper veteran, daughter born in District 8 when he was stationed there, mother executed during bread riot. Marcus was ordered to shoot into the crowd. His own daughter's grandmother died on his watch. Broke something in him, stayed loyal publicly, but waiting, hoping, praying for someone to start the war. Lime approaches him carefully. Your daughter, how old is she now? Marcus, 13, lives with her aunt in District 8. I send money. Haven't seen her in 3 years. Can't get stationed there again, conflict of interest. What happens to her when the capital doesn't need us anymore? When automation replaces peacekeepers? When we're inconvenient? Already knows. If there was a way to change the system, to remove the people who ordered you to kill your daughter's grandmother, would you take it? Long silence. Marcus, tell me when. Tell me where. I'll be there. First committed soldier. Not just sympathetic. Active. Ready. Enobaria works Capital Intelligence Circuit, uses her entertainment victor status, attends parties, gatherings, sponsor events. Capital elites confess during appointments, drunk on wine and power, assume victors are powerless, can't do anything with information, wrong. Enobaria learns, capital military generals frustrated with Snow's resource allocation. We're spending billions on Hunger Games infrastructure, while military equipment goes obsolete. Elite families evacuating wealth. Offshore accounts, luxury bunkers outside the capital, preparing for eventual collapse. Capital citizens hoarding food and supplies, just in case the districts stop producing. The capital elite don't believe in the system's sustainability. They're preparing for failure. That intelligence is gold, feeds it to recruit peacekeepers. Even capital elite are evacuating. They know collapse is coming. We can die defending a sinking ship, or we can seize control and survive. Cato works Victor Network. Other districts, other broken weapons. Cassia from District 1, age 23, won 71st games 5 years ago. Beautiful. Exploited like Finnick and Enobaria. Agrees to share capital security protocols, guard rotations, hovercraft maintenance schedules. Mags from District 4, age 70 plus, won the 11th games decades ago. Too old for exploitation now. But remembers, knows, promises silence, won't join, won't interfere. Hamish from District 12, age 41, drunk. Always drunk. Cato approaches him once. Hamish laughs. Rebellion, kid, they killed my family 24 years ago. I'm already dead, just waiting for my body to catch up. You want to fight? Good luck. I'll drink to your memory. Useless, broken beyond repair. Results by month 12, 3 victors from Districts 1, 4, and 7 sharing intelligence. Not fighters, support assets, month 1-3, 1-8. The nut infiltration. Line uses her former peacekeeper credentials, still has access to maintenance records, security archives, personnel files, the nuts structure, critical infrastructure, central armory, basement level 3. Stores 80% of Panem's conventional weapons, rifles, explosives, vehicle parts, body armor, power core, basement level 5, geothermal plant, powers all nut systems plus district's electrical grid, command center, level 1. Military Communications Hub, coordinates all peacekeeper deployments across Panem. Nuclear stockpile, basement level 7, 20 warheads, outdated delivery systems, but functional, enough to irradiate half of Panem. Emergency bunker, basement level 6, where capital commanders retreat during crisis. Reinforced. Supplies for 6 months. Security protocols, 3 shift changes daily. 0600 1400 2200 hours. 0600 night shift, biometric access for armory and nuclear levels. Emergency lockdown, conceal all levels independently. Capital response time if nut is compromised. Estimated 4 hours for hovercraft assault. The plan crystallizes. Stage 1, internal seizure. 2200 hours. Minimal personnel. Maximum confusion. Commander Flint leads Peacekeeper Unit, responds to manufactured security breach, secures armory, command center, nuclear stockpile, communications. Locks down facility before capital realizes timeline, must control all critical infrastructure within 90 minutes. Stage 2, district lockdown, peacekeepers loyal to conspiracy secure. Train station, hovercraft pads, communications hub in town. Cut capital's ability to send reinforcements or receive intelligence. Must happen within 2 hours of nut seizure. Stage 3, the ultimatum once secured, broadcast to capital. District 2 is independent. Attack us, we detonate nuclear stockpile inside the nut. You lose your military infrastructure and irradiate your industrial center. Stand down or mutually assured destruction. The problem, Snow won't accept stalemate, will sacrifice District 2 to maintain fear. Prove that rebellion results in annihilation. Need a catalyst that forces confrontation before they're ready. Need capital distracted, vulnerable, overstretched. Month 18, the 75th quarter quell announcement. Capital broadcast, all of Panem watching. President Snow appears, reads from a card, the card that supposedly contains instructions written 75 years ago. Everyone knows it's a lie. Snow writes the quell rules himself, uses them to punish, control, terrorize. On the 75th anniversary of the Hunger Games, as a reminder that even the strongest cannot overcome the power of the capital, the male and female tributes will be reaped from their existing pool of victors. Shock, horror, victors sent back to the arena, forced to kill each other, the capital's heroes murdering each other for entertainment. Cato watches the broadcast from his victor's village home. Understands immediately. Snow suspects District 2 disloyalty. Suspects Cato specifically. This is a purge. Eliminate potential rebels before they can act. Emergency meeting. The 4 victors. Lime's home. Secured. Encrypted. Brutus, if Cato and Enobaria die in the arena, our network collapses. We're not ready. Need 6 more months minimum. Lime. If we wait, Snow picks us off one by one. This is the catalyst. We move now or never. Cato. We break the games in the arena. On camera, show the districts that careers can rebel, that the capital's weapons can turn. Enobaria, we'll die. Cato. We're already dead, at least this way we take them with us. Give the network a chance to execute the coup while capital is distracted. Silence. They know he's right. The plan: Cato and Enobaria enter arena, survive initial days. Day 3, attack Game Maker control booth. Underground. Accessible from arena if you know where to look. BD from District 3 can provide technical knowledge. Kill Game Makers. Hijack broadcast. Send signal to Lime. Execute nut seizure now. Expected outcome: Capital kills them, but District 2 begins coup while Capital is distracted by arena crisis. Brutus, you're sacrificing yourselves. This is what weapons do. We destroy the enemy, even if it costs our lives. Month 19, the Reaping. District 2, Reaping Day. Victory Square. Population assembled. Mandatory. 4 living District 2 victors. Brutus, 52. Lime, 43. Cato, 26. Male pool, Brutus, Cato. Female pool, Lime, Enobaria. The escort, capital citizen named Pompey, reaches into the male reaping ball. Brutus. Brutus walks to stage, 52 years old, scarred, gray. Cato steps forward. I volunteer. Crowd gasps. Cato volunteering to replace the older victor. Exactly what career district expects. Strength, youth, aggression. Playing the role perfectly, Cato takes the stage. Female reaping. Enobaria. Enobaria walks to stage, sharpened teeth visible when she smiles. Doesn't smile now. Lime does not volunteer. Critical. Must stay in District 2 to lead the home front. Execute the nut seizure. Strategic outcome achieved. Cato and Enobaria going to arena. Brutus and Lime staying to command the coup. Goodbye period. Justice building. Cato's family visits. Tiberius. Claudia. Valeria crying. You already won once, you can win again. You have to. Cato kneels, looks at her. 12 years old, innocent, believing. I'm going to try, but if I don't come back, voice breaks, can't finish. Valeria hugs him. You will, you're the strongest. Comforting lies. His mother understands, sees it in his eyes, knows this is suicide mission, private moment. She whispers, make it count. Cato, I will. Cato, if we die in the arena, you proceed without us. Lime, and if you break the games, we seize the nut the same day. Brutus, one way or another this ends in fire. Enobaria, for District 2, for every victor they've exploited, for every tribute they've murdered. Blood oath renewed, they will not surrender, will not confess. Will die before revealing the conspiracy. The train departs, District 2 to Capital. Cato and Enobaria, 2 career victors, going back to hell, not to survive, to burn it down. Day 1, Capital, the tribute parade. 24 victors, 2 from each district, ages ranging from teens to 80s, all previous winners, all forced back. The parade through Capital City Center, chariots, costumes, crowd cheering. Cato observes the crowd. Thousands of Capital citizens, celebrating, excited, oblivious. They don't understand what they've done. Forcing victors back into the arena. The Capital's trained killers, broken, traumatized with nothing left to lose. Enobaria beside him in the chariot, they're going to regret this. Yes, they are. Day 2, 6. Alliance formation, career alliance attempts. Cato and Enobaria from District 2. Gloss and Kashmir from District 1. Siblings, both victors, both exploited for years. But immediate tension. Careers always fracture. Gloss wants to lead. Cato won't submit. Both alphas, incompatible. Alliance collapses Day 3. Gloss threatens Enobaria during training. She threatens back. Kashmir intervenes. Chaos. Cato abandons career alliance, seeks different allies. Finnick O'Dare approaches. District 4, we need to talk. No surveillance. Finnick, District 13 is planning extraction. During the games, they'll pull victors out mid-arena. Take us to District 13. Start the rebellion. Not mine. You have a better plan? Yes. We don't escape. We break the games from inside. Attack the game makers, kill them on camera. Show Panem that the capital is vulnerable. Finnick stares. That's suicide. But it triggers District 2's coup. Lime seizes the nut while Capital is distracted by arena crisis. Two-front attack, Capital can't respond to both simultaneously. You're insane. I'm tactical. This maximizes damage, minimizes Capital response time, creates chaos they can't control. Finnick considers. If I bring others into your plan, District 13's extraction fails. Coin will be furious. I don't care about Coin. I care about killing Snow. Long silence. Finnick, I'll join you, but I'm bringing BT. We need his technical knowledge to find the game maker booth. She wants blood, been wanting it for years. She'll fight. That's 5. Enough for an assault team. When do we move? Day 3. Arena starts day 1. We survive bloodbath. Orient ourselves. Day 2, we locate the booth. Day 3, we attack. Kill every game maker, hijack the broadcast. End the games forever. Alliance formed, 5 victors, 5 broken weapons, 5 people with nothing left to lose. Cato, Inobaria, Finnick, BT, Johanna, not fighting to win, fighting to destroy. Day 7, the interviews. Caesar Flickerman interviews each victor. Capital tradition, 3 minutes per tribute. Nostalgia, sentiment, entertainment. When Cato's turn comes, Caesar asks, "What's it like being back, returning to the arena after your victory?" Cato looks directly at the camera, at Snow in the presidential box, at the Capitol watching. It's clarifying. The first time I believed the lies. Believed victory meant glory, meant reward, meant freedom. Now I know better. Victory meant slavery, meant exploitation, meant becoming capital property. Pauses. Let it land. But I'm grateful for the lesson, because now I know exactly what I'm fighting against. Caesar's smile freezes. Crowd goes silent. Snow's face is carved stone. Cato continues, "See you in the arena, Mr. President. Let's see if your game makers can kill me twice." Doesn't wait for dismissal, backstage chaos, handlers screaming. Capitol officials panicking. That was open defiance. Rebellion. Treason. But too late to stop. Broadcast was live. All of Panem heard it. Enobaria finds Cato. That was reckless. That was necessary. The districts need to know victors can rebel. That we're not capital property. That we fight back. Snow will make the arena a slaughterhouse. Good. Let him try. Day 8. The arena launch. 60 seconds on the platforms. Tributes rising from underground. Arena reveals itself. Island. Cornucopia on a central platform surrounded by salt water. Dense jungle beyond the beaches. Tropical climate, hot, humid, designed for suffering. Cato scans for landmarks. Identifies jungle canopy, mountain ridge in distance, possible structures hidden in foliage. BT said game maker booth is underground, accessible through maintenance tunnels in the abandoned sections. Sections game makers don't monitor as heavily because no tributes ever go there, too far from action. The gong sounds. Bloodbath. Cato sprints for the cornucopia, grabs weapons, sword, knife, survival pack. Enobaria beside him, grabbing axes. Finnick secures trident, his weapon from his original games. Joanna grabs axes, her specialty. Beatty grabs wire, electronics, tools. The career pack, gloss, cashmere, plus tributes from District 4. Attack other tributes. Standard career strategy, kill the weak immediately. 8 tributes die in the first 3 minutes, mostly older victors. Too slow, too broken, too traumatized to fight effectively. Cato's group retreats into the jungle, not engaging, conserving strength. Day 1, 2. Reconnaissance. The Alliance establishes base camp deep in jungle, hidden, defensible. BT scouts the arena's infrastructure, looking for anomalies. Sections that don't make tactical sense. Maintenance access points. Finds it day 2. Eastern quadrant. Dense foliage. No water source, no food, no strategic value, but there's a rock formation that looks artificial. Too symmetrical. Investigates. Discovers hidden entrance, camouflaged maintenance hatch, leads underground. Reports to Cato, found it. The game maker access tunnel. Cato, guards? Unknown. Assume heavy security, this is their control center. Heart of the games. When they're tired, expecting dawn attacks, not night. The assault team prepares. 5 victors, limited weapons, maximum aggression. Day 3, 0400 hours. The assault, Beatty opens the maintenance hatch. Metal ladder descending into darkness. 50 feet down. They descend. Cato first, sword drawn. Enobaria second, axes ready. Finnick third, trident. Johanna fourth, axes. Beatty last, carrying wire and electronic tools. Reach bottom, concrete tunnel, fluorescent lights, sterile capital construction. Follow the tunnel, 200 meters. Turns, descends further, reach door. Reinforced steel, biometric lock. BT, give me 5 minutes. Works the lock, hacks it, uses capital technology against itself. Training from District 3's electronics expertise, 4 minutes. Lock disengages. They enter. Game maker control room, massive space, screens everywhere showing every angle of the arena. 20 game makers working, monitoring, designing, killing. 12 peacekeepers guarding. Security detail, armed with rifles. The peacekeepers see them, raise weapons. Cato doesn't hesitate, charges, sword swinging, close quarters combat, brutal, fast, vicious. The peacekeepers are trained, but they're not victors. Haven't killed children in hand-to-hand combat. Haven't survived the arena. Cato kills 3 in 15 seconds. Sword through throats, chests, abdomens. Career Academy precision. Enobaria kills 2. Axes and teeth. Rips a peacekeeper's throat out the same way she killed in her original games. Finnick kills 4. Trident work. Fast, efficient, brutal. Johanna kills 3. Axes. Screaming rage, years of exploitation fueling every swing. 12 peacekeepers dead in 90 seconds. The game makers panic. Try to flee. Exits are blocked. Cato walks through the control room, sword dripping, killing game makers methodically. Some beg, please, we were following orders. Orders don't absolve you. Kills them. All of them. 12 game makers, 20 support staff, all dead. Enobaria secures the room, ensures no survivors. BT commandeers the main console, hacks the broadcast system. Cato, can you override Capital Media? BT, already done. Every screen in Panem is showing this room right now. Cato positions himself in front of the main camera, blood on his face, sword in hand, dead game makers visible behind him. Speaks directly to Panem. My name is Cato, victor of the 74th Hunger Games. The Capitol made me into a weapon, trained me to kill children from age 8, taught me that strength meant glory, that victory meant reward. They lied. Victory meant slavery, meant exploitation, meant being sold to capital elites like property. Every career, every peacekeeper, every victor, we are their slaves. We enforce their oppression. We die for their entertainment. This ends now. Looks directly at the camera, at Snow watching from somewhere in the capital. District 2, take the nut, seize the weapons, cut their supply chain. Every career, every peacekeeper, every person who believed the lie. Wake up. We are not their heroes. We are their victims. Fight back. Turns to Lime's expected position in District 2 command monitoring. Execute the plan, now. Showing the dead game makers. The destroyed control room. Then Capital Forces respond. Alarms. Emergency protocols, security teams mobilizing. Finnick, they're coming. Cato, good. Let them. The team fortifies the control room, barricades doors, prepares for last stand. This was always the plan. Die here, but broadcast the rebellion. Give District 2 the signal. Make it count. District 2. The nut. 0410 hours, same night. Lime watches the broadcast. Cato's message. The signal. Gives the order. Execute. Commander Marcus Flint mobilizes. His peacekeeper unit, 200 conspirators, moves on the Nuts command center. Manufactured security breach, alarm triggered, response protocol activated. Flint's unit responds, enters the command center, secures it. Loyalist peacekeepers react. 30 officers try to stop them. Firefight. The Nuts corridors. Close quarters. Brutal. 15 conspirators die. All 30 loyalists die. Within 90 minutes, command center secured. Armory locked down. Nuclear stockpile controlled. Communications hub captured. The Nut belongs to the rebellion. Lime broadcasts from the command center. District-wide. Capital-wide. Panem-wide. This is Lime, victor of the 42nd Hunger Games. District 2 is no longer capital property. We have seized the Nut. We control Panem's military infrastructure. We hold the nuclear arsenal. Attack us, we detonate everything. Irradiate the region, destroy your weapons stockpile, your peacekeepers, your power. President Snow, you trained us to be your sword. Now we're pointed at you. Stand down or burn. Silence, then chaos. Capital response. Snow convenes emergency military council. Generals mobilized, options assessed. Option 1. Immediate military assault, retake the Nut. Problem: nuclear threat. If they detonate, capital loses military infrastructure and irradiates industrial center. Option 2. Siege. Starve them out. Problem: other districts will see District 2's rebellion, will rise themselves. Can't afford slow response. Option 3. Negotiate. Problem: looks weak. Validates rebellion. Other districts copy. Snow chooses option 1. Retake the Nut. If they detonate, so be it. We'll rebuild. But we cannot show weakness. Orders bomber squadrons to surround District 2. Begin assault. The arena. Control room 0600 hours. Capital forces breach the barricades. Armed security teams. 50 soldiers. Heavy weapons. The 5 victors fight. Last stand. Beatty dies first. Shot through the chest. Dies at his console. Still broadcasting. Johanna dies second. Axis swinging. Takes 12 soldiers with her. Finally overwhelmed. Shot 47 times. Finnick dies third. Trident work. Vicious. Brutal. 20 soldiers dead. Then a grenade. Explosion. Gone. Enobaria dies fourth. Axes and teeth. Screaming, raging. Covered in blood. Fights until a rifle burst cuts her down. Cato alone. Surrounded, 50 soldiers, rifles aimed. He stands, sword dripping, blood everywhere. Dead soldiers everywhere. Looks at the camera. Still broadcasting. For every victor they exploited. For every tribute they murdered. For every child they forced to kill. This is for you. The soldiers fire. Cato falls. But the broadcast continues. Showing his corpse. Showing the dead game makers. Showing the rebellion. All of Panem sees it. District 2's siege. Month 2024 post-quell. Capital surrounds District 2. 30,000 peacekeepers. Pulled from Districts 8, 11, 12. The Nut holds. Lime commands. 5,000 fighters. 200 peacekeepers. 4,000 armed civilians. 800 Career Academy graduates. Siege mechanics. Capital strategy. Starve them out. Cut supply lines. Wait for surrender. District 2's position. The Nut has 6 months of supplies. Geothermal power. Water from underground springs. Self-sufficient. Nuclear leverage. Attack us, we detonate. Mutually assured destruction. Stalemate. Month 21, District 13 intervention. President Coin deploys forces. Not to help Capital, to help District 2. Strategic calculation. If District 2 wins alone, they control post-war Panem. Coin needs District 2 dependent. Needs alliance offers. Military supplies, food, medical aid, hovercraft support, terms, joint command. District 13 political leadership. District 2 military leadership. Post-war government to be determined. Lime accepts, pragmatic, needs resources, doesn't trust Coin. But alliance is tactically necessary. District 13 forces arrive. 3,000 soldiers, 50 hovercrafts, advanced weapons, combined force 8,000 fighters. Enough to break the siege. Month 22. The breakout, District 13 launches diversionary hovercraft raids on capital military bases. Pulls 10,000 peacekeepers away from District 2's siege. Lime orders offensive. 5,000 District 2 fighters charge through primary entrance. Overwhelming peacekeeper lines. Brutal fighting, street by street, building by building. 1,200 District 2 fighters die. 3,000 Capital peacekeepers killed or captured. The siege breaks. District 2 controls the region. Capital's position collapses. Can't resupply peacekeepers in other districts. Can't manufacture weapons. Can't maintain control. Districts 8, 11, 4 begin spontaneous uprisings. No Mockingjay symbol. No inspirational speeches. Just pragmatic violence. The capital is weak. Strike now. Month 2, 3, 2, 4. Multi-front war. District 8 falls to rebellion. Textile District produces rebel uniforms now. District 11 sabotages food shipments. Poisons grain destined for capital. Thousands of capital citizens die from contaminated food. District 4 rebellion, led by fishermen, cuts off seafood supply. Capital is starving, surrounded, losing. Snow's response, scorched earth. Orders bombing of rebellious districts. Hovercraft squadrons deployed. Districts 8 and 11 bombed. 50,000 civilian casualties. If I cannot rule, I will rule ashes. Month 25. The final assault. Combined District 2, District 13 forces. 10,000 troops. Strategy, blitzkrieg. Overwhelming speed and violence. No careful pod dodging like canon timeline. Brutal, fast. Total, 5 battalions each. 1,000 District 2 soldiers plus 1,000 support troops. Cato's battalion leads, except Cato is dead. Replaced by Commander Flint. Same mission, spearhead assault, presidential mansion. Expected casualties, 80%. Day 1. Capital Western Gate, breach using explosives from the nut. The same weapons Capital commissioned. Now used against them. Capital defenses, peacekeepers, Capital born, terrified. Poorly trained, mutations, automated turrets, District 2 fighters overwhelmed them. Career training, real combat experience. Ruthless efficiency. First 6 hours, 10,000 Capital casualties. Soldiers, civilians, anyone in the way. Day 2, urban warfare. District 2 forces don't dodge pods, don't navigate carefully, blow up entire city blocks. Clear paths with explosives. High civilian casualties, 30,000 Capital citizens dead by Day 2 end. Coin watches from District 13 command. Horror. This isn't liberation, this is extermination. Tries to order ceasefire. District 2 forces ignore her. They're not fighting for Coin's revolution, fighting for revenge. Day 3. Presidential mansion approach. Flint's battalion reduced from 2,000 to 600. Brutal casualties. But still advancing. Snow releases final defenses. Gas mutations. Designed to kill indiscriminately. Capital citizens. Rebels. Everyone. Mutations kill 20,000 more Capital citizens. 500 more rebels. The city is burning. Corpses everywhere. Smoke. Chaos. Hell. Day 3, 1,800 hours. Presidential mansion. 600 fighters remain. Flint leads final assault. 100 elite peacekeeper guards defend Snow. Last loyalists. 30-minute battle, close quarters, brutal. No mercy. 300 rebels die. All 100 peacekeepers die. Flint reaches Snow's study. Rose garden adjacent. Blood and flowers. Snow sits behind his desk. Calm. Resigned. Flint, it's over. Snow, is it? Look at what you've done. 60,000 Capital civilians dead. Your own people. You've become what you hated. Flint shoots him. Through the heart. No speeches. No trial. Execution. Snow dies. President of Panem for 43 years. Dead. The aftermath. Days 4, 7. Capital in ruins. 80,000 dead total. 60,000 civilians. 20,000 combatants. Remaining Capital population, 120,000. Starving, terrified, surrendering. District 2 and District 13 occupy the city. Martial law. Brutus broadcasts from Snow's throne room. Covered in blood, exhausted. President Snow is dead. The Hunger Games are over. The Capital's regime has fallen. But understand something. We didn't save you. We killed the people who were killing you. That's all rebellion ever is. Now you have to figure out what comes next. Pauses. And understand, we won't let anyone restart the games. Won't let anyone rebuild this system. Try and we'll kill you too. Day 7, Council of Victors. Leadership question: who rules Panem now? President Coin claims authority. District 13's resources. Legitimate government in exile. Brutus claims authority. District 2 did the fighting. Controls the nut. Has the weapons. Districts 8, 11, 12 demand representation. We suffered under capital. We deserve a voice. Debate. Arguments. Tension. Brutus refuses presidency. I'm a trainer, a soldier, not a leader. We need a council, representatives from each district. Democratic, no single dictator. Majority vote for major decisions. Military oversight by victors to prevent dictatorship. We know what it costs to survive Snow's world. We won't let anyone rebuild it. Democracy is chaos. We need strong leadership. The council votes. Districts 2, 4, 7, 8, 11, 12 support Democratic Council. Districts 1, 3, 5, 10 support Coin. Tie. District 13 breaks it. Coin's own district votes against her. Democratic Council wins. Coin is furious, but outvoted. New government, Council of Districts representatives elected. Term limits, no single president. The nut converted to museum, memorial. Weapons destroyed. Nuclear arsenal dismantled. Brutus's final act. Month 26. Brutus walks into the nut's nuclear chamber. Basement level 7 sets timer. 10 minutes. Broadcasts final message. My name is Brutus, victor of the 45th Hunger Games. I trained children to kill for 30 years, watched them die, became complicit in their murder. I helped start this rebellion, helped destroy the capital, but I'm still a weapon. Weapons don't get to choose peace. This is the only way I disarm. Detonate single warhead, inside the mountain, contained explosion, collapses the nut, buries the arsenal, destroys the weapons forever. And himself. Suicide, sacrifice, ensuring no one can ever use those weapons again. Legacy, the victor who saved Panem and couldn't live with what he'd done. 5 years later, Reconstruction, Panem's new government, functioning, imperfect, democratic, council representatives argue constantly. But no dictator, no games, no systematic murder. District 2 struggles, identity crisis, no longer the capital's enforcer, not yet redeemed, converting from military economy to civilian production, painful, slow, necessary. Enobaria survived the control room assault, critically wounded, recovered, now historian of the rebellion, writes the definitive account. Final line of her book. Cato was not a hero. He was a weapon who chose his final target. That is not redemption. But it is something. District 12 rebuilt. Small, struggling, but alive. Katniss's family, Mrs. Everdeen and Prim, survived. They don't celebrate the rebellion. Too much loss, but they're free. The Hunger Games are over. Arenas destroyed. Game Maker archives burned. Victor exploitation ended. Children across Panem are taught the history. The 74th Games. Cato's victory. His exploitation. His rebellion. His death. The lesson: this is what happens when you train children to kill. They become weapons. And weapons don't stop when you tell them to. They destroy. That's all they know. That's all we taught them. Cato's grave, Victor's village, District 2, next to Lime, next to Brutus. Gravestone reads, Cato, victor of the 74th Hunger Games. He broke the system that made him. Not a hero's epitaph, an epitaph for a weapon. The Mockingjays sing. They survived. Capital mutations crossed with natural birds. Shouldn't exist, but do. Thriving, symbol of survival through adaptation, through resistance, through becoming something the oppressor never intended. Like the rebellion, like the victors who turned, like the children trained to kill who chose their final targets. Panem is free, not because of hope, because of rage, because of weapons who pointed themselves at their masters, because of children who were trained to kill and decided to kill the right people. The games are over, the arena's silent, the weapons broken, and Cato, 18 years old, murdered to become a slave, who murdered to become free, rests. Let us what you'd like to see next. The end.